him to correct his faults, to change his behavior, to think unselfishly, to think only of others, to give up thoughts of self, to create all that is good, to avoid everything that is bad. In this way, Mr. Liao Fan created so much goodness in his life that he was able to change his future in his current life. I said earlier, most of what happens in this lifetime is what we created in our past lifetimes. It is difficult to change what is destined to happen in this lifetime. We have to do much that is good or much that is evil to change this very lifetime. That is what Mr. Liao Fan did. And one of Mr. Liao Fan's bad habits was becoming angry. He enjoyed arguing with others. He didn't think how others felt. He did whatever he wanted. When others irritated him, he would very cleverly respond in anger. He was very intelligent. He could hurt others with his speech. And he would do so, knowing he was hurting others. But he learned how to think of others. He learned how to control his anger. In this way, he completely changed everything in his life. He was supposed to die at the age of 53, but he lived until 74. He was not supposed to have children at a time when having sons to carry on the family name was very important. He ended up having 2 sons. Mr. Liao Fan lived 500 years ago. And for many of us, this story feels very distant from us. How do we relate to Mr. Liao Fan in China when we are now in Australia 500 years later? The lessons that Mr. Liao Fan learned are the truth. The truth is not bound by geography, by time. The truth is the same whether it is in China, Australia, this world, or a distant world. The truth remains the same throughout the past, present, and future. The truth is the same regardless of the language that it is spoken in. And the truths that Mr. Liao Fan learned to control his anger were all based on cause and effect. He learned that all his bad things that were happening every day in his lifetime, his state of not having much money, of barely being able to support his wife, of not having the things that they wanted, of not being able to pass the imperial examination, all the difficult things in his life were the result of what he had done in the past. and so much of it depended on his having become angry in the past. Today, everything we encounter has the potential for causing us anger. We can decide whether we give rise to that anger. We can control it through behavior. We can say, I am not going to give in to that anger again. But this is very difficult to do. This means we have to catch that anger before it even begins to arise. And this is very difficult. The second way to change is to try to understand the reasoning. We know all about cause and effect. We know why we get angry. We know why we will suffer anger in the future. So we try to understand through understanding, through reasoning. And this is the second way we change our behavior. The third way to change is from the heart. We understand how badly we feel when we become angry. We understand when somebody criticizes us and we feel hurt and angry. We understand how badly we feel, and we know the other person feels just as badly. And we understand, we feel compassion for them. And we really don't want them to feel like this, like we are now feeling. When we try to change through behavior, it's very difficult because we have to catch each incident that makes us irritated. And we have to catch the anger before it arises. Changing through understanding is also very difficult. Changing from the heart is to change from within. It is to no longer even have the thought of getting even. It is to not have the thought of you hurt me, I want to hurt you. To not have the thought of you criticized me, I need to defend myself. It is to not have the thought of anger even arise. When we do this, when we are sincerely trying to help others, then we are truly generating kindness in our futures. We can do this in everything in our lives. The causes of anger are many. We encounter things that can make us angry. Driving to work, at work, after we are home, at school, when we are out with other people, when we are by ourselves. But everything depends on how we react. We can give in to the anger